99 FM, we're back at it again, and this time around we're speaking to a very powerful, very hustling, bustling young lady who is looking absolutely just fantastic this morning. I don't know why she was so worried. She looks so good. Kulan Ganes. She's Ganes. I keep reading it as Gaines, but it's Kulan Ganes. She's been a makeup artist for 14 years and has worked on major international productions like Mad Max Fury Road, yes, Red Sea Diving Resort, and Namibia's very own Bahu and the Giants. And she started her own casting agency over 1 year ago. And she continues to be a royal hustler. You know, there's a hustler and then there's a royal hustler. And she's making a big impact in the film and advertising sector that she's working in here in Namibia. Kulan, my darling. Good morning.
Good morning. Hi, guys. Thanks for having me in the studio.
No, we love you. We just the nature of who you are as a person. That's why it shocked me when you said like interviews are not your thing. I'm like, your personality though, like you're so in there.
I like talking to people like in person, not having a mic in my face and knowing that it's going somewhere else. It's like I don't know if the conversation loses a little bit of its essence or something, but it just really freaks me out.
No, but trust, your personality will exude through any interview. Okay. So let's talk about you. Tell us a little bit about you, like your background, where you grew up.
I was born 34 years ago in Windhoek. Grew up in Kadatura. I'm the eldest of 3 kids.
Oh, wow.
I have a brother and a little sister. My mom, and I have my mom, my dad, my stepdad, and I have extra half siblings that are also just around. So I grew up in a big house with like over 2 adults and about 7, 8 children. Yeah. So yeah, it was quite a what should I say, a roller coaster. And you also know, as black families, we also have cousins and
cousins
aunties that come live there. And
siblings. We don't have cousins, we have siblings.
Yes, we have siblings, our cousins, our siblings. And yeah, I was from the era that used to play in the riverbeds and have to run home before the lights go on. And yeah, that kind of...
Favorite childhood memory?
Going down the riverbed on a box every single day, because back in the day I went to school to Pet L, so we had afternoon school. So that's when my school started. So in the mornings we used to go do that whole sliding down the river. So imagine, there were glasses, there were like, you could get cut, you could fall over, break your neck, but it was just amazing because my parents used to go to work, so they would lock the house and leave us at the neighbor's house. So it was one of those things we did without being supervised. So they never knew that we did them until we had to go to morning school, because then they were like, oh, now we understand why you guys were like always eager to stay with our parents.
No, thank you so much for sharing that memory, because a lot of I'm a 2000.
Yeah,
they don't know these things of mornings class and afternoon class and actually not even class, school.
Yeah.
In Katima.
Yes.
If you're like the lower grades, we start our afternoon thing.
12 o'clock. Yeah, you know, you can sleep late. By the time you get
there, you're already dirty.
Yeah, you're already dirty. Because you always had to walk to school anyway. And then you just take detours around there looking for like, there was this things we called khans in the, because I used to walk through the graveyard. Because I grew up in Holgora, so I used to walk through the graveyard to go to school. There was this things called khans. I don't know what they're called in English, but it was like little tiny fruits that you dig out from the ground, which we would just like go and find, and then we were always late for school. It was just
the formal shirt of school is like, it's pink and red, because ours were red, the Katima ones were red. So I'm always stained red. My mother hated it. Let's talk about how you got into makeup artistry though.
Well, as a child, because for the first 9 years of my life, my mom was single, so it was just the 2 of us. So I used to watch a lot of TV, I used to read a lot, and it was always an escape for me. So I knew I always wanted to work either in the film industry or in the beauty industry. So either a beautician or as a makeup artist. But as I grew up, I realized that beauticians have too many rules, and I'm not a very conformer of rules. So because not as in the industry itself, but as technique and stuff like that. Whereas makeup is much more free with creativity, and I always knew that it was either a beautician or a makeup artist. So when I got older and got into grade 12, I did my research, and this is where I am.
Yeah.
Yes.
The field of work in terms of being a makeup artist, I mean, right now we're living in an era of YouTube where anybody can be a makeup artist.
Yes.
Air quote, we are all makeup artists now, most, because we took a couple of tutorials.
Yes.
And I know how to do the wing.
I still can't do the wing.
Oh.
As a professional makeup artist,
Yeah.
it is embarrassing to say this, but I still can't do it. On myself or on other people. Yes.
But how's the industry now?
Well, when
As a
I
professional
started, it was literally, there was nothing happening. It was very fresh. I started with, my first gig was music video for Gaza, Kick It, I think it was. It never came out, but that was my first makeup artist gig, which was paying. All the other things that I did before that was for free. I worked for free for like 2 years. But now, it's a totally different ballgame. We are on Netflix, guys. So it's like, it's showing that there's growth and there's always room for improvement. But where we are at now and what we were doing when we were like, it's a massive difference. So I'm very happy. I'm very happy to be in the industry at the right moment, at the right time. For some reason, I'm still here.
How did you get into all of these big productions, Miguel? Like, we have Mad Max, or we have Red Sea, we have Bahu and Deja. How?
Mad Max, I hammered that producer, the South African UPM.
For those that don't know,
every single
UPM
day.
is?
Yeah, every single day. I used to call him, I used to text him, I used to be like, I want to be on that job. I don't really always take no for an answer. So yeah, he called me one day and said, do you want to be in Swakopmund by tomorrow? And I was like, yes. I was at the hospital. I left everything. I was supposed to get tested and stuff for major health issues. And I was just like, I'm not doing this. I left the hospital, went home, packed my bags, and then I was in Swakopmund, and yeah, the rest is history. We won an Oscar. Life has been great since that. Red Sea Diving Resort, my agent put me on it. Bahu and the Giants, obviously, I'm in the film industry here, so people just like kind of work. Word of mouth is like my advertising.
Let's talk about your casting. You have an agent for yourself, but now you're like, you know what? Let me start my own. How did that come about?
Well, in the past few, let's say past 6 years or so, before I left for Europe, I got into advertising a lot. So doing like adverts and stuff, because the movies were very limited and very little. So, and then the casting, the ad agencies would normally ask me, do you know a person that would like to do this, or that would fit this profile and stuff like that. So eventually I started recommending people to the agencies.
Okay.
And then eventually I decided, okay, maybe somebody should pay me for this. And then I started putting a price on it, and then they still kept on using me. And then eventually I was like, this is a little bit of a snippet of what's going to happen in my life. I'm slowly but surely moving out of being a makeup artist.
Okay.
So this was like, why don't I just start an agency? Because for some reason, despite my love-hate relationship with humans, I seem to bring out the best in them.
It seems seems you have a special touch. But that transition now from veering away from what is profitable and what is safe to now veering into this new role of you starting your own agency. How has that been like for you psychologically and financially?
Financially, I would say they don't differ that much, because normally what I would do is if I do a casting for a job, they automatically would hire me for being makeup.
Yeah.
So then there's no real big of a difference, but I constantly see makeup as my forever career. Okay. And it is really freaky for me to like leave it. But change has to happen somewhere, and obviously I have a few girls that I know that are brilliant makeup artists, and I really want to give them a chance, because I do get more work than they do, so I would rather delegate towards them. I'm a grower of people.
Yeah. So here's someone who's listening and saying, listen, I love the industry, I just don't know how to get myself out there. I don't know how to get myself on film. I don't know how to get myself in these ads. We see the ads all the time, in our newspapers. There's someone going, who picks these people?
Yes.
So how do they get in touch with you? How do they get on board?
We are working on the website at the moment. Penciled Casting is the website's name, but we also have a Facebook page, Pencil Casting, and an Instagram page, which is also Pencil Casting, where all the castings are posted, and then people send me their numbers and their photos, and I send it to the client. The client makes their decision. I call the people back. So. If you want to be into casting, then that's how you'd go about it. If you want to be in the film industry, you need to follow all the film agencies in Namibia, for all the advertising agencies. Ask people, can I just come and shadow you on set? Can I come do everything? I'll come make coffee. I will do printing. I will do all of those things. So basically, you need to put yourself out there, because if it's a very small industry, and people tend to normally work with the people that they know.
True.
Yeah, so you have to be out there. You need to be able to prove yourself constantly, because your last job is only as good as your next one. So if you fuck up on the last job, mess up on the last job, then no one is going to hire you again. And it just takes one mess up.
Because that was going to be my next question, seeing as how small our industry actually is. How do you find like a constant influx of financial stability?
I save. Yes, I because big jobs do happen. So when you have the big jobs, you need to always put money away, because you should realize, because obviously with the 14 years of experience, it comes that you're not always going to have a job. So you need to make some kind of saving somewhere so that you can literally survive for the time that there's no work. Like COVID happened, and 5 months of no income is not, it was not very good. But we are getting back there now, so that is making me very happy.
And finally, what are you looking forward to? Either in now that you're transitioning into Madam Boss,
I am looking forward to casting for all the big things that come to Namibia, all the big productions. A little bit of a snippet. Something is happening. I'm not going to tell you guys, but
just a hint. Okay, a hint. Just a little hint. Just a hint. She sips her tea.
I can't.
Okay. But something big is happening. And for those that want to be on board, Pencil Casting is where they need to get in touch with you.
Yay.
You're making the parts, Moss.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming, Kulan. You've made this interview so vibrant and so beautiful.
Thank you for having me.
So definitely, I know this is not like your likes. It's a pet peeve being interviewed, but trust me, you're coming back again. Sincerely, things are happening. So when the things happen, people must know.
The people must know. I will let you guys know the moment it lands.
All right. Thank you for coming, my love.
Thank you.
And that was our royal hustler for today, Kulan. I was going to say Gaines again, girl. Ganes. Kulan Ganes.